When Dodge launched the Hellcat, it was definitely not meant for police officers. It was built for flippin' chaos. A supercharged 707 horsepower monster that redefined what a muscle car should be. But here's where it gets weird, people. While police across North America were given Dodge Chargers, none of them ever got a Hellcat. And it wasn't because the police didn't want one. The real reason they didn't get Hellcats? We'll get to that in a sec, slow down. Still, years later, a few departments did end up with Hellcats, just not in the way you'd think. And that's where this story takes a turn into controversy. When you picture a police cruiser, you're probably thinking of that cute little Dodge Pursuit thing. It had a little V6. They were practical, cheap, reliable, perfect for patrol duty. Until you're chasing one of these guys. You're not keeping up. But Dodge never made an official Hellcat Pursuit. Just imagine though, how cool that would have been. But even if they did make it, the maintenance, the fuel costs, and the insurance would have been quite the fiasco. And then there's the other problem, safety. A 700 horsepower police cruiser isn't exactly ideal for the new guy on the job. So instead of a Hellcat, Dodge gave police officers normal Dodge Chargers with little V6s. Fast enough, I guess. But Dodge's wild creation wasn't staying out of the headlines for long. By 2016, Hellcats were showing up everywhere. In viral videos, police chases, street races, you had it all going on. They were easy to steal and hard AF to catch. This was a recipe for disaster. With 0 to 100 miles per hour happening in under 6 seconds in a Hellcat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's 100. A Hellcat could smoke almost every police car on the planet. But some criminals even posted their chases online. And police departments were helpless. Most pursuit vehicles topped out at 150 miles per hour. A Hellcat can push way past 200 motherflippin' miles per hour, which is almost as fast as a Peregrine Falcon. Little fun fact for you. For years though, the only chance the police department had of catching a Hellkitty was when it was parked. Until a few departments realized they may already own the solution, and it was sitting in their impound lots. This is where things got a little controversial. In states like Texas and Georgia, police departments legally seized Hellcats that were involved in crimes, mostly street takeovers and illegal racing situations. And instead of auctioning them off, the police kept them all for themselves. One of the most famous examples came out of Houston, Texas. One succulent afternoon, a sheriff seized a black Dodge Challenger Hellcat Red Eye SRT wide body. Geez, that's a mouthful. Being used in an illegal street race. It was towed back to the police station where they did some things to it. Some things that had never been done before. That's right, these cops converted it into a fully functioning police Hellcat cruiser. Lights, sirens, stickers, that little laptop thing in the passenger seat, the whole shebang. And then the internet found out about it through a viral clip. Some dude filmed of it doing a pull on the highway. Even cops can't help themselves when behind the wheel of a Hellcat. Anyways, the public called it legalized theft. Keyboard warriors argued that police were benefiting from citizens' seized property, turning dream muscle cars into government toys. But departments defended it, saying they were using forfeited assets to improve enforcement, which is just a fancy way of saying they wanted a dang Hellcat. It's a weird moral gray area. The same car that once outran the law was now being used for the law. Imagine that. What a crazy turn of events. Throughout all of this, Dodge stayed silent, not a peep. They never publicly commented on the police Hellcats, because officially, these cars didn't even exist in Dodge's lineup. And honestly, Dodge was dealing with enough bad press at the time. The Hellcat was already being linked to some serious crimes and record amount of thefts. By 2023, it was among the most stolen vehicles in America. So when Dodge sadly ended production of its supercharged V8s in 2024, they cited emission rules was the reason. But the timing felt poetic and sad. The Hellcat's legacy had already spun out of control. It started as a tribute to American horsepower and ended up as the ultimate outlaw car and the ultimate police car. Today, only a handful of departments actually use Hellcats, and all of them were repurposed from seized vehicles. Dodge never offered the Hellcat to the cops, although they're mostly for PR or highway patrol demonstrations, not daily use. Well, that's what the police say at least. Still, every time one shows up at a car car meet or a traffic stop, it reignites the same debate. Should police be allowed to turn confiscated cars into their own patrol car contraptions? Or does that cross a line? Should they just return the dang Hellcat to its rightful owner, who made a mistake to get it impounded in the first place? What the heck do you think? Either way, the story of the Hellcat proves one thing. When you build a car this wild, you can't control who ends up driving it. Thanks for subscribing and watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And you better freaking subscribe.